Greetings. How well do you use yoga? You use it, lovingly and well. Use it. Give yoga a chance. This next month, perhaps, you could strengthen and empower your understanding and use of yoga. As a reference, I use a book I love called Meditation and Its Practices by Swami Adeshwarananda. He's the minister and spiritual leader of the Ramakrishna Vivekananda Center of New York, and it's about 100 years old, 1925. How well do you use yoga? Quoting from him, yoga and Vedanta ask us to face the problems of life. Face the problems of life through knowledge of spirit, which he calls the reality. Yoga and Vedanta, which is a wonderful philosophical system based on yoga, yoga and Vedanta ask us to face the problems of life, face your problem, my problem, through knowledge of spirit or reality. The knowledge that you're a spiritual being, that others are spiritual beings, that spirit is everywhere, that spirit loves and cares, that spirit is powerful. Just add awareness of spirit through your practice of yoga. The ills of life, still quoting, the ills of life are not created by God or by the stars or by luck, but by our own inability to live in the light of spirit. Spiritual awareness. The world we live in is in our own mind. So much of our trouble is what our mind is doing, how our mind is processing what's going on. And our mind usually ignores spirit. As you probably know, if you've studied yoga any length of time, the causes of our suffering are profound, and there are 5 main ones. And we should look at these and consider how to live a better life as a result of this knowledge. First one, ignorance. Ignoring spirit, basically. Ignorance that makes us out of touch with the ultimate reality. Ignorance that makes us out of touch with the ultimate reality. As a result of being out of touch, we have a false sense of who we are and what's going on. We misperceive everything. So we have an ego, a sense of self that creates the world of dreams and desires and fears. That ego is kind of in charge of interpreting life to us, and it's usually wrong unless it's aware of spirit, unless we're using yoga. Out of ego, we get attachment to things. We think people, things, events are going to make us happy, and we want them, and we want to own them, possess them. Attachment to things and beings of that dream world that our mind is conceiving and fantasizing. 4, aversion toward things and beings we do not like. We think they're in our way, or they're going to hurt us, or they're going to block us, or we have all kinds of dislikes of people for bizarre reasons. When we get to know people, we generally find they're wonderful people because they are spirit expressing in a unique and individual way. Aversion toward things and beings we do not like. Sometimes we have aversions to exercise or doing our postures, 5, possessiveness, clinging to life and not moving forward. We are called and destined for enlightenment and partnership with God, and we hang back, clinging to life, not moving forward. Possessiveness, because we think something else is more important. We hold on to it. This reality, spirit, according to yoga rishis, wise men, wise women, thousands of years ago, going into the forest to meditate on these issues. So this reality, which we call spirit, according to the yoga-wise enlightened ones, has two faces. This reality has two phases. One, ultimate or absolute reality, spirit everywhere, pure spirit, nothing but spirit. Ultimate or absolute reality that is real for all time and is unchanging and infinite. Spirit everywhere. But spirit chose to create and express itself in time and in space and in cause and effect. So that's called relative reality. Real for a time, subject to change, always changing in fact. Experienced mainly through the senses in time, space, in material, physical attributes. Relative reality. Now, when we separate this relative reality through our ego and our opinions and our fears, relative reality, when separated from awareness of the absolute at the same time, becomes destructive. This relative world becomes full of pain, sorrow, and suffering because we're ignoring spirit, the main cause, the main source, the main reality, our main essence. We're ignoring our essence. The absolute reality is the reality of one all-pervading soul, self, spirit, as the inmost self of all beings, spirits in everybody. As the witness consciousness, what is witnessing this play of mind and ego and humanity? As the witness consciousness of the changing phenomena of life. As we awaken to spirit, we directly perceive the universe is the dynamic manifestation of spirit. This is all spirit moving and expressing itself. Manifesting spirit, the absolute reality within. I should have said that. This is one of those trick sentences. I should have kept reading. The absolute reality within the bounds of time, space, and causation. This universe, the whole universe, all the galaxies, the billions of galaxies, the universe is the dynamic manifestation of spirit, the absolute reality within the bonds of time, space, and causation. All existence is spirit. All existence is one spirit, manifesting itself in many, many ways. And you are one of these manifestations of the one all-pervading absolute reality within the bounds of time, space, and causation, and beyond. As you meditate, you go beyond into the infinite reality. Each individual is like a leaf on a tree. We're like leaves on a tree. Leaves come and go, don't they? But the tree remains a long time. We're tuned in with the infinite spirit. This outer life of ours in time and space and causation, that's like a leaf that comes and goes. The absolute reality, this tree in this analogy, is our true identity. It is the consciousness that gives us all consciousness. It is the truth of all truths. Forgetfulness of this ultimate reality creates spiritual blindness. Ignoring spirit, we can't see spirit. We can't relate to it. We don't know it's there. Blindness and eventually spiritual bankruptcy. We're just not living capable of a fulfilled life until we go beyond our ignorance into awareness. Blindness and eventually spiritual bankruptcy, the root cause of all sufferings and maladies of life. Maladies of life, diseases of life. Physical and mental sufferings are only the symptoms of this deep-rooted spiritual sickness. False sense of self, attachment, aversion, possessiveness. We're stuck until we become awakened to the infinite spirit and the expressions of spirit. Now, the great point of yoga, whether you do it by intentionally practicing yoga, or perhaps you're a saintly person who doesn't know about yoga directly, such as Teresa of Avila, John of the Cross, Rumi, and other great saints of various traditions, spiritual traditions, Zen masters, mystic masters. They've come into yoga by a side door and become aware of spirit everywhere, and that this universe is an expression of that infinite spirit in time, space, and causation. Some of these great people, these great saints, found this out without knowing yoga, but they were doing an instinctive, natural thing. They were going within and experiencing their own soul, their own spiritual core. The only way we know to overcome the maladies of life, the only way, hate to say only, but I think we can say it here. The only way we know to overcome the maladies of life is to establish contact with the ultimate reality. That's how you use yoga well. You establish contact with the ultimate reality, spirit. And the only way, well, sometimes you can have a near-death experience and discover spirit, but the only practice that you can do to make contact with the ultimate reality is meditation. Meditation includes focus, concentration, contemplation, awareness of possibilities and the greatness involved, continuation and samadhi, absorption in the one spirit, absorption, samadhi, the thing itself, spirit itself, leads to direct perception and experience of the ultimate. Yoga scriptures say the main point sounds important. The main point of the spiritual quest is direct, ongoing awareness and experience of spirit. Let's say it again. Yogis say, the yoga scriptures say, the main point of the spiritual quest is direct, ongoing awareness and experience of spirit. Then you're using yoga well. And the rest of your life, face the problems of life through knowledge of spirit and relationship with spirit. You'll then have an awareness of the infinite spirit and the relative reality. This is all spirit moving and expressing in time, space, and causation, and in matter, and in thought, and in feeling. Awareness of spirit as both the ultimate reality and the relative reality. The one absolute reality everywhere, and the relative reality within the bonds of time, space, and causation. When you can see the leaf life and the tree life and have an ongoing daily understanding of this interplay, then you will understand yoga and you will use it well. Regarding your happiness, all your concerns, your future, learn yoga. Use it well. God bless you.